Yep, we're doing this. Hey beautiful people, and welcome back to the community chat. And guess what I have for you today? 1 second. And guess what this is? You get one guess. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Whatever you said is probably wrong. It's a box, okay? It's a box. This is a pretty box, but stop putting yourself in one. Yes, there are pretty boxes, right? We can decorate ourselves up, but you need to stop putting yourself in a box, okay? Now that we got that out the way, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the different ways we put ourselves in boxes. Made me think about this specific thing is talking to my son. I asked him, I said, hey babe, what do you want to be when you grow up? Wait, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm recording. Don't just be jumping up here like that. Jeez. Anyway, so I asked him, I said, hey, I said, babe, what do you want to do when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? He says, I don't know, mom. Maybe I want to be a soccer player, or maybe I want to do games, or I want to be a YouTuber. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I had asked him this on one of our walks, and I was kind of thrown by the answer. As a teacher, I think about my kids, and I ask them, I say, hey, what do you want to be when you grow up? Always try to incorporate what they want to do or their interests into the lesson that I'm teaching or into the curriculum. And when my son had told me these 3 different things that he might either or, and when kids say I want to be a basketball player, a soccer player, dancer, singer, rapper, whatever, those are all fine and dandy, but I feel like they are limiting themselves. And that's something that we take into adulthood. We often limit ourselves. We say, okay, I'm gonna do this and just that. And we might have a side hustle here or there, which is great because you're using your skills. And that's something that I would love for you to think about and step out of your comfort zone, right? Even from a child, we often limit ourselves. Even though we have big imaginations, as children, as we grow up, we get that one question: what do we want to do when we grow up? And then when we go into college, it's what career or what major do you want, right? And then we're limited. They tell us to explore these classes. My undergrad, I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted. I mean, I wanted to do nursing because when I was little, I wanted to be a pediatrician, but life takes different courses, right? So you have to be able to adapt and figure out those things. And I think that's part of not putting yourself in a box when you're saying, okay, this is what I'm going to do, so I have to have this one-track mind. You don't. You have to explore. You have to think about what it is that makes you happy. And that's truly important, especially as we're navigating through life. So what I want to discuss is a few ways that we put ourselves into boxes, and we need to break out those boxes. Be free like this hair of mine. It's just doing whatever it wants today, and I'm okay with that. Like, be free. I'm tired of it. Last time I had it in a ponytail, it wasn't feeling it, you know, but I'm not gonna complain. I'm not. So anyway, the first way we put ourselves in a box is our career. We are on a one-track mind to do this one thing that we feel like it's our purpose, but it takes time to figure out what our purpose is. And you will need time to explore. You will need time to see your options. You will need time to dig deep and really understand what you want to do and what you want to accomplish with your life and how you can give back. I've said this before, that I feel like we all have special gifts. We have to figure out what our gift is so that we can give it back to the world. What your gift is by exploring your hobbies. Like, I know I love doing hair, I love styling my own hair, but no, that's not me. That's my bestie. Like, she's good, and when I need my hair done because I don't feel like doing it, I know who to call. That is her gift. She's talented. She loves to do it. That's not for me. It's something that I like to do. It's not necessarily something that is for me, and I learned that just by being stressed out, like doing my hair. Another hobby that I realized, I love to structure and organize, so I embed that into the work that I do. I like to put together documents. I am somewhat of a homemaker. Maybe one day in my life I consider being an interior decorator, who knows, but that's just something that I like to do, and I wouldn't mind doing it, right? So this is just not putting myself in a box, and knowing that I'm capable of doing anything I set my mind to. You trying it? You know I'm recording, right? You know I'm recording, right? See, they be trying it. Now he needs to stay, my kid needs to stay in his box right now because I asked him. You know, I tell him, I said, baby, please, mommy's gonna record, make sure that it's quiet. Sometimes you do need to stay in a box, but we'll get to that later. So anyway, so now within your career, I always thought about, like, when I go into interviews, I have like my piercings and I have tattoos. I always cover that up. And I take out my piercings, and I get it because, you know, you have to be professional in a certain way. I know that is a layer of me, and we all have multiple layers. And
have layers. Onions have layers. You get it. We both have layers.
Oh, you both have layers.
It's okay to have multiple parts of yourself. I mean, I know I do. I got a few. Some that I'm not so proud of, but I am working on them. So I have an action plan. I practice what I preach. For my interviews, you know, I'm hiding a certain part of myself, but I know it's there and I know it exists, and I'm not ashamed of it. So once I prove myself and show my worth, because my piercings and my tattoos don't make me unqualified for the job, I still have the information, I still have things that actually connect to my kids better. This is a person or type of person that they see in their community and know that they're more than their outside appearance. And that goes right into number 2, to physical appearance. You might say, oh my god, I'm too big, I'm too small, and I can't wear this and I can't wear that, or I'm black, I'm white, I'm Latinx, whatever the case. You may not feel comfortable exploring other cultures just because you feel like you're limited to yours, and that's not okay. We shouldn't limit ourselves because of our upbringing and the color of our skin. We should be free to explore. For example, my son is heavily into anime, and I'm not gonna say, oh well, we're black, we don't do that, watch something else. Like, no. Encourage him to explore these things. I've encouraged him to learn the language. I brought him a ton of books. Is he using all of them right now? No, but I know he will eventually. He watches anime with subtitles, which is good for me because he's reading. I know he doesn't always pick up his books even though he has 1,000 of them, but I know that his interest is that 2 for 1, you know. He's reading and watching a show that he likes, and he's also learning some Japanese. I actually like started to learn a few words just so I can promote him to learn it and be well-rounded. We've also went to a few Japanese restaurants, which was great, and especially being in NYC, they're all around. We got to try a few different meals and desserts, and he loved it and I loved it. And you know, you don't have to put yourself in a box. And it's funny because I remember being in some of those restaurants and we're like the only black people there, but it's okay. Like, it's a little uncomfortable sometimes, but sometimes you have to be a little uncomfortable. You have to, again, grow outside yourself, get outside that box. You have to explore, you have to try, you have to be you have to take that leap, and that's okay. You have to be great. Another way that we box ourselves is our worth. We allow people, places, things to put price tags on us. Now, if we're constantly working on ourselves and building ourselves and doing things for ourselves to make ourselves better, you shouldn't let anybody else define you. You shouldn't let anybody else put a price tag on you. Put a price tag on yourself, and that doesn't mean you should limit yourself either. And just be realistic. Just be realistic with yourself, with your worth. Yes, we all have our baggage. We get it. Doesn't mean you have to take the first person that walks by. The world is already judgmental. The world is already critical. The world is going to put you in a box anyway. I remember one student who said, I'm trapped in a box, but we need to poke holes. And I just thought that was so profound. And he was such a silly student, but I really loved him. And he always brought like joy into the classroom. And I was just like, you know, I don't know if you meant this to be a joke or serious, but it was so deep, right? Because we often put ourselves in a box. And if you are in a box because of society, your family, your career, you have to be a certain way, look a certain way, act a certain way, you know, poke a hole, learn yourself, of course in positive ways, nothing negative. Don't hurt nobody, please. But you know, just really take time to get to learn who you are. Take time to do different things. Take time to explore. Take time to learn. Take time to grow. Just take time to be great. You know, really step outside the box. Be outside the box. Be free. Live your best life. Well, that's all I have for you today, my beautiful people. Just remember, this is a pretty box, but open it up. Be free. What I got in here? Post-it notes. My post-it notes. This is for another video.